Mm. Okay, here we are. This is a governmental debate. I don't know what to call it. A political debate. We are here with two of our guests. That would be Lulbit and Woke. And I am your moderator, Uniform Goose, or Saki8. I don't care how you want to call me. Let's just get to it. I'm going to go over the rules, and then I'll start asking questions. Rules are pretty simple. No name calling. We want to keep things professional here. Stick to the topic. Only answer the questions. Do not attack the other person's argument. Do not attack the other person's character, only their argument. Stay professional, refrain from swear words, and don't use slang. Dress your best, look professional. Pretty damn simple. Okay, first question for you, Woke. What is your stance on the new Legion PMC?
I think for the new Legion PMC, it seems like the guy has a interesting view on it. He thinks that, in my opinion, he thinks that he can overrule a lot of people. But we can always fix that. I think if we just calm him down a little bit, that would be good.
I somewhat feel the exact same way as Woke feels.
I
Made so
think
far?
that that Lovish should pick his own words, not just use mine.
Okay. Woke, next question. How do you think you will help our economy?
Economy, I think I can boost it by creating a gun market so we can get some guns in there and make more money, as well as we can control how people buy houses, buy shops, spend, and we can make more open opportunities for people so they can have a well-balanced economy. So yeah.
Before I started trying to do all this, I was working for a company. It was for Mason. I got paid a lot within just a few short days, so I feel like it is better to have maybe a weekly pay or monthly pay. It depends.
Okay. Woke, do you decline any of his
I think
points? You're not.
I think the reason why he was making so much money is because that's his buddy and those unfair payment. I think there was more employees would be more fair, it was a more government business, but I think it was a self-employed kind of business, so that's why he was making more money. So I think your
Well, but
weekly thing is a good idea,
That's
but the only
correct.
reason you were making more
That
money is
is
because
incorrect information.
incorrect information. Is it? Why is
Yes.
that?
Because to be fair, I did work a lot. I was on the server every day for at least 5 hours a day, working, mining constantly.
okay, next question for you, Woke. What are your plans for this state when you get elected?
I'm trying to create a stronger military, legalized weapons, as well as keeping the streets safe, building a better economy, making the market better, and just having more of a better outlook on what our future is going to be ahead of us. So having a well planned, just of like I think, okay, future process, as well as having our national parks so we can have more nature, not just all city buildings, so we don't have a massive city and like bad fossil fuel uses. So that's what I think.
The state if you get elected.
Uh, Same thing as woke, but adding on, I feel like if we have maybe more places for like children, or maybe certain areas for people that have jobs, so then they don't have to work a lot more and go find places. Because it's a lot more safe if we have certain spots for certain different kinds of people, and I just feel like it'd be safe. I want to keep this. I want to keep this country safe.
Okay, next question for you, Woke. How will you open up more jobs?
By creating more stores, more shops as well, opening the military and law enforcement to more like I guess active areas where community can participate in it to see if they like the jobs or if they want to join. And I think just making more of an open market, making more trade areas, as well as having bigger businesses and smaller businesses if people want to join either one. So that's what I'd say.
Well, but how about you? How would you open up more jobs?
Um, I I guess same thing as woke, because he's making a really good point right now.
Woke. Next question. What is your stance on alcohol?
So I think alcohol is a very interesting subject because it depends on the person, the way they use it. So you could use it for holidays, celebrating, not political, my bad, religious events. I think, or just celebrating. But there are some people who use it, abuse it, sell it on the market, bad ways, use it to make money. So I think we're gonna have to control that, make sure that all alcohol is registered through like the government. So yeah.
Okay, Lolbit, how about you? What is your stance on alcohol?
I feel that we shouldn't, if people are buying from stores, we should ID them, and maybe if we figure out if we if they are a bad person
So
in
you
an
thinking
example,
like checking their criminal record?
yes,
Okay. Any disagreements here you want to handle out?
No, I think that was pretty good. ID checking. That's a good way.
Okay, next question for you, Woke. Do you plan on having any sort of suburban housing?
Yes, I plan on having many types of housing: apartments, suburban housing, low income housing. Not too low though. We want to keep a good economy. Like I said, I want to keep a good economy. So I think all types of houses, depending on what people can afford, what their like market value is, and how much houses worth, so they can determine if they want to live in apartments, condos, housing, suburban housing, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, how about you, Lolbit? Do you plan on having suburban housing?
I feel like we like Woke said, but if there is if there's homeless people, we can provide them with homes and provide them with health care and dental care. So then
Any-
to get rid of
I
a
think you're going
bad,
off topic right now,
maybe
a little
probably,
bit.
sorry,
My question was, do you plan on having suburban housing?
yes,
Okay.
100.
Any form of disagreements you want to settle here?
No, we're good.
Okay, next question for you, Woke. What is the best economic system to live under?
Um, that's a good question. I think it depends right now on what type of like government we have, how many people we have, what the job we're looking at before we actually get determine that. Because there's not really a say on what's the best. Depends on how everybody uses it and works on it.
Okay, I like the response. All right, Lolbit, what do you think is the best economic system to live under?
I feel like it's best to have everything at the perfect price and to not make, if you have everything overpriced, it's going to cause more problems and it's going to make a bad.
Okay, next question for you. Should there be a national minimum wage?
I think there should not be because it depends how hard you work. If you're sitting on the streets, you should not and doing like a really bad job. I don't think you should be getting paid as really high because there's gonna be so many open opportunities if I get voted as governor. So that should not be able to happen. So we should have a good pay system where you either make a lot of money or you don't make a lot of money.
Okay, interesting. Lolbit, what's your stance?
I
Should
like
there
where
be
you're
national?
going. I like where you're going, Woke. But if we have minimum wage, then we can defer on different positions, different job positions, and different job positions mean more. If you're a manager for say, you're gonna have a higher pay because if you don't have minimum or maximum wage, you're just gonna get paid whatever. Is what I feel like.
I
Hmm.
said minimum wage. That means
There should be
uh,
minimum wage.
there should be a national minimum wage?
Yes.
Okay. Any disagreements here? I'd like to settle?
Mm,
Are economically richer countries obligated to help poorer countries?
I don't think so because if another country has a different religious view or they have a different political view, or if they're just an enemy of the state or like not an ally, I feel like they're not obligated to help them because the country that has more money worked hard for that role, and other countries can as well do that. So that's what I think.
Well, but how about you?
I simply will agree with Woke with what he's saying.
Is
Okay.
that all?
And I guess we can move on to the next question.
Okay, then. Should prisoners be allowed to vote?
I think it depends on what they did to get into prison. So if it's like mass murder, absolutely not, because they can change the tide of a vote. If it's minor stuff or like maybe stealing because of one economic, uh, let's say I'm to give an example. Let's say Lolbit did crash the economy and someone was forced to steal. I think that they were forced to and not like they weren't abided to. So I think it depends on what you did to get into jail.
Okay, how about you, Lolbit? Should prisoners be allowed to vote?
I feel like they should not be allowed to vote, mainly because I like what Woke's saying, but even if they did something small, they can still completely ruin a whole vote and make it shift tides.
Okay. Next question. Should we discourage nationalism?
I do not think so because everybody has their own views and their own opinions. So I think everybody should think freely because we're trying to have a free country. Everybody has their own political views and just views in general, religious views as well. So that's what I think.
Okay, how about you, Lolbit?
I feel like I agree with Woke, and also because it has maybe just thinking about it, maybe it has to do with freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion.
We will move on to the next question since it seems like you guys don't have any sort of disagreement so far. How should we deal with tyrannical governments, foreign and domestic?
Um, I think we really advise using military and maybe if last case scenario use martial law. But I think military force is really good. It's also because we have a strong military. And if I get elected, I will improve on the military. But I think right now we have a strong military, so we would handle it pretty good. And yeah.
I was asking when I said domestic, I meant what if our government went tyrannical? What then?
Yes. Okay, so if our government went tyrannical, that means that something went wrong. Some people are not doing their job clearly well. So I think we would handle that using a lot of law enforcement, protecting political figures, controlling everything, and putting people behind bars that should not be outside just roaming around.
So you think you want to protect the same people that made the government tyrannical? Using law
Nope.
enforcement?
I'm saying that we figure it out. We don't want to have a chaotic country, so we first figure it out, keeping all political figures safe so they don't get assassinated, then we can figure out from there. So start slow, then move fast.
I'm not
Okay.
like the
We can go
speaker.
to the next question.
Alright, next question for you, Woke. Should wealthier countries be forced to accept refugees?
No, I think countries that should accept refugees are countries that are able to and willing to, if they want to, or they're nearby an active war zone. If the civilians do not want to fight for their nation, they can. I think wealthier nations can create homes, not homes, but like refugee camps, house everyone until the war's over, and they can push them back in. So I think wealthier nations are not obligated to, but they can if they want, if they're in the good state of matter to do that.
Okay, Albert, how about you? Should wealthier countries be forced to accept refugees?
Um, I guess I'd say it depends. I'm not for sure.
Alright, boys, we're going to call a break here. Okay, Woke, got the next question for you. Should our country have strict immigration policies?
I think it's very important to have strict immigration policies because it determines if your country downfalls. Because if we invite bad immigrants over, they're going to destroy our country, robbing places, shooting up places. So I think we should have very strict immigration laws.
Alright, well, Albert, how about you? Should we have strict immigration policies or not?
I feel like we should have very strict policies, mainly because of criminals. Mainly because of criminals. Because if they ruin our country, then we're just going to go under in the economy.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Mm. Okay, Woke, next question. What is your stance on nuclear weapons or weapons of mass destruction?
I think they are useful if it's the last thing you need, the last straw. I think they're useful for making mass destruction, like their name is. I think they should be used very smartly. Only good leaders should use them well, and they should be very developed first before any launching. So good testing, having good nuclear sites and nuclear energy.
All right, Albert, how about you?
I feel the highest part of the government should carry those kind of things, as in have a responsibility of that. And maybe if we're talking about explosives, I feel like the highest part of the government should be responsible of that.
As well as, can I add on to mine, Sakia?
You may.
I think there's many other options instead of nukes, like smaller bombs, but still effective bombs. We can use planes, bombing planes, as well as just other anti defense missiles. So
There could
Okay.
be some like rocket launchers, C4, dynamite, just TNT in general, bombs.
Next question for you, Woke. Should farmers and ranchers be taxed?
I think if their food is going to the economy, it should be taxed because that is the food we're eating. And if they're just going untaxed, they can just smuggle their food, not smuggle, embezzle their food, and just use it for themselves. So I think if they're using it for the economy or use it for themselves, everybody should get taxed because taxing is important and make sure a good economy is stable.
Okay. How about you, Albert?
I feel like taxing is really, really important because it keeps the economy up and creates a stable economy in the country.
Pretty similar stuff. Okay, Woke. Next question. Will you support small businesses or large corporations?
I think it's important to support both of them because they're the ones running our economy. They're the ones making the changes in tides of money. So I think it's very important to focus on both of them and their growth.
Very acceptable answer. How about you, Albert?
I feel like I completely agree with Woke, but I feel like we should be with more small businesses because they struggle a lot more than how big businesses do because they have sales, like billions of sales every day, and it's better to support small businesses.
So a little bit, you're saying it's better to support small businesses, but a lot of the large businesses are government ran and helping out our economy a bit more than small businesses. So I think it's good to focus on both of them. If you have anything to say about that.
Like I said, I support both 100%. But if we support small businesses more, then they can grow, and that will be appreciative of us. They will be appreciative of us.
Okay. A interesting answer. Okay. Woke. Next question. Do you have any experience in this field of work?
Yes, I have. On past servers, I've been the governor of head of like the capital city on multiple worlds, multiple cities. I have a high range in political stances and roles. So yes, I do have practice in this field.
Would you like to name some off?
Yeah. So during Valencia, I was the governor for Roseport. As well, I was the head of police department, so that does have a little political stance. I did have other important positions in the government. I cannot name them off right now, but yes, I have.
All right. Well, Whit, how about you?
I do not have any kind of. This is my first time.
All right. Last question for you, Woke. Are your policies more interventionist or isolationist?
Interventionist is attacking first. Is that what you said earlier?
Yeah. Trying to start more
Okay.
conflict.
And the other one, what's the other name?
Isolationist.
I think we should be more isolationist because attacking everybody, there's no need to do that. We should first think about it, first of all, make sure that we have enough resources to fight the war, seeing if, because we don't want to cause more bloodshed and just use of people. No more killing. Killing is not good. As well as we should save those resources for fights we need to do, and not just go around just killing everybody colonizing. I think there is a time and date to do that if the nation is threatening us, but I think we should always think about it first because we do not want larger outcomes that we cannot handle.
Understandable stance. Albert, how about you?
I prefer isolation mainly because if we just go out there and murder, we will look like a horrible country. And it is also better to save resources and use them on better things to better our country.
A little bit. May I ask
Okay.
you, does it depend on the situation as well?
What?
Because what if the country attacking us? Do we want to look bad in front? Do we want to look like a wimp in front of them, or do we want to look strong in front of them?
Strong.
All
100%.
right. So
I'm
Okay.
saying if we just go out with
Continue.
I'm saying if we just go out and murder, it makes us look bad.
yeah, I agree. But there's also a time and place to do that, isn't there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that was our last question. I'm your host, Sakia8, or Uniform Goose, or moderator. These are our political opponents. This was a debate. I will see you guys later.